You probably won't understand this story, but I'll tell you it anyway. I was this dude, I was just sitting in his car, and he was really addicted to this one substance. That was his life, just the only thing in his mind. Kind of like a grown jewel for him, of the day, always made him cheer up. But then happened, the pipes run dry. That's a saying, just on the streets, pipe run dry. Kind of like piping running dry, piping running dry, piping running dry. Just hyping running fly. And the guy had forgotten, to like close his fly, like dig just flapping everywhere, like this. And some dude just said it like that's, just so indecently evil. And all the fucking biggest players, had gathered around this, just like circular table. And there was one dude that was like kind of like in this posture there, in the middle of the table, standing on the table, I mean, and everybody was looking at his, about the carved point. And, it was the most hilarious situation, all kinds of cameras around, the biggest, players in the fucking game wearing nice suits and that kind of stuff. And all of them pretty no good, like Varios, it's a real show. And this dude that just was so addicted, seeing all kinds of stuff, into that, was just like shit, like that's like my stuff. It was kind of like expressing it through his like soul, like that's kind of my stuff. And there was this, he had made girlfriends, in the past. One of them, was in the car, and the other one was, lying dead in the back of the car. I mean, that was the kind of dude he was. And, of course, the girl, like, sitting on the, like, next to him, on the passenger seat, like, didn't really know about the dead girl in the back. And then, because they were just looking over from like Hollywood Hills or something like that, to the city. They drove this police car or something like that, like stopped by and just got out of the car, and just said that I have to just kind of look at what you got in this car, nothing, out of the norm until he opened, the back, and there was the dead girl, just lying on the back, and the police asked like, "What's this about?" Like she seems to be dead. The police like clearly high on methamphetamines or something like that. The guy said something like, "Well, she was a real bitch, and I'm a freaking crackhead," that type of stuff. And the cop was just like, "Well, that's understandable. Just continue making out and looking at the fucking city. Just sped, just like that. Like using the federal dollars to like handle this type of small time criminals, like he just, murdered his girlfriend. I mean, one of them, can always get another one. That's his kind of mentality, The same with his crack pipes, I think he was more mad when he broke his crack pipe than when he, got rid of his girlfriends. Sometimes it happened by accident. And, those guys that just kind of gather around the table, they, just look at this dude, standing on the table, And each one of these guys, has in this type of a small incremental downward stepping crevice in the table in front of them, like beautiful wood, it's just there. And some guy says that, like, this man like that wood, like quality stuff. And the girls just says we could make like stuff out of this. And the guy says, what can you make out of this bitch even? And all of a sudden, came around like a SWAT team to this fucking place where these guys, guys standing on the table, and like a SWAT team, just storm in, screaming like, yo, everybody of you guys, like, dangerous criminal types, man. And just like MP5s and, just bulletproof vests and this kind of stuff, One SWAT dude, has like huge rings, and blinks, and, just some Versace hat, on his head, just goes like, shoot them fucking bachas, shoot them fucking bachas. At this point, they throw the body, of the dead girlfriend, just rolls, like down, the Hollywood Hills. It's like a mayhem down there. And, it's freaking amazing because at that point, in front of the guy that, kind of decides for these things, it's kind of like a row. I mean a real type of a line, like there's a line. And he says that it's not your turn yet, and that's the exact same type of shit that he says to his current girlfriend, not your kind of turn yet. And that's how he kind of handles this thing, It's his breakup style, What's yours?